Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give you a platform as young people to be able to talk about everything under the sun concerning us and being able to provide solutions to some of the challenges that we do face. We also draw attention of the nation on the 77% of the population to make sure that we set a future for this country. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. Welcome to the show. Now, one of the things that has been so much lingering in our minds today, and I've had on several occasions, majorly the First Lady talk about it, moral issues. Today, I want to be looking at how we can be able to be morally upright and basically looking at the role of religion. Us being able to, know God and know the Word. How can that help us? When you go to church on Sunday, when you go to the mosque on Friday, or when you go to church on Saturday, what really comes into your mind when it comes to the person that you are? The kind of life that you are living today as a Christian, as a Muslim. If anyone looks at the way you live your life, can they really be able to get encouraged or interested actually in becoming a Christian or a Muslim? Today, that's what we're looking at, and I have a very credible team that is going to be helping us to delve into this discussion and bring out a few issues to help us understand morality and religion. How do the two come together, and actually how can we be able to achieve morality through religion? And with me on set, starting from my far left, as always, ladies first, Rita. Welcome to Youth of Purpose once again. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Hello, this is Jane Rita, Women and Youth Advocates.
Thank you, Rita. And next to Rita is Gideon. Gideon, welcome to Youth of Purpose. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Thank you so much. My name is Mwende Gideon, President of Uganda Law Students Association, an association that joins the 15 accredited law schools in Uganda, and also an executive member of the Law Students Association of East Africa. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Gideon. And last but not least, Engineer is here with us, and we're so glad to have you here today, Engineer. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Thank you, Engineer Godfrey Ong'er.
Thank you so much. And starting straight with you, Engineer, when we talk about morality, what are we talking about?
We are talking about our behavior and how we understand ourselves, because the whole issue is about myself, ourselves, not anything else, but ourselves, not religion, not an institution, but ourselves. Yes.
And how do we relate it to religion? So much of what we know is that when someone is a Christian or Muslim, or when someone is going to church or to the mosque, we are looked at to be so holy and to be moral. How does religion relate to morality?
Religion existed purposely to align us with God. Through what we call faith, because religion is a faith-based organized society whereby it is there to help us to live a faithful life, a spiritual life, a holy life, to live a holy life. But somehow they have tried, but it didn't reach somewhere. So right now, as we talk, we needed to understand who we are and how we can become either holy or overcome what we call faithfulness. Because faith is all about religion, but spirituality is all about God and yourself.
Amazing. Coming to you, Rita, in your understanding, what do you think morality is, and how do you relate it to religion?
To me, morality represents the values, the way of conduct of an individual, how you move your life, which values do you show, you portray. So to me, morality basically portrays the practice that you show, the values that you portray. Then how do we relate morality to religion? Comes on a bit that religion is a factor that influences the moral behavior of an individual. As we say that morality is a behavior of an individual, so that behavior is influenced by the religion that that individual aligns to. So whatever religion I personally belong, it influences the morals that I uphold. So it influences the behavior that I have. So individual, that's how I can relate morality to religion.
Amazing. Gideon, the law student, how do you understand morality, and in your own understanding, how can you be able to relate it to religion?
Thank you so much for that great question. Morality to me connotes the fact of the way of we live, more so as a society. Things we do as a society. If the society deems fit for something or way of living, I think we are obliged to follow that moral values, because it depends which society are you living in. There are some things that look immoral in the society we are living in, yet in other societies there are moral values. So to me, morality depends basically on the society you are in. To draw a thin line with the religion, religion is like a belief in a supernatural being, that you understand that there is the God or there is someone above you, someone who watches whatever you do. So I think there is a thin line, there is a nexus between religion and morality, that we cannot separate the two. What deems moral, in most cases, it follows the religion. Yeah, that's how I think.
Okay, what I get is that religion, then, if there is a super being that is watching over you, brings in the source, brings in the issue of accountability and responsibility. Because someone is watching over you, then you have to act accordingly. You know, we are decrying the issue of immorality, and majorly looking at the issue of sexual immorality, looking at the issue of corruption that we're having today, which engineer definitely before the show was discussing about with a few colleagues, saying it cannot be fought with guns or just by arresting people, and that maybe he'll be able to touch a little bit on that. Why are we having this issue of immorality increasing in our country?
The problem is because we didn't know who we are, and we didn't know why we are here. Okay, God created us for a purpose, for a reason, and that is the reason that we didn't know. We thought, right now we think that we are here for ourselves, and we look at the future to be the material things that we have. That is the future that we have. But in the real sense, the future that we have is actually heaven. Everybody is doing everything they want to do, but at the end of it, we are yearning to go to heaven. Nobody wants to go to hell. But when you are ready now, at the time of thinking of where to go, because you make decisions by yourself, and then you find out that, I'm not fit to go to heaven. I have to take this route. Yes, but I wish I knew. Now, because of lack of knowledge, many people have lost their souls. So all these immorality, corruptions we are talking about is because we didn't know who we are. If we had known who we are, all these things wouldn't have existed. Yeah.
So if someone knows the purpose for which they are here and actually who they are, then most probably they are not going to steal, because in the first place, you're stealing for what? The resources you're stealing are for what? Coming to you, Rita, why do you think we have increased issues of immorality? And you can also be able to paint for us a picture from where you are coming from. I know much of the time you spend it in an institution of learning, where actually much of what we're talking about happens, talking about lecturers harassing their students sexually, students cheating exams and all that. At the same time, the issues of sexual immorality that we're talking about, so much happens in those institutions. If you can be able to paint for us a picture, And also, maybe if you know, what are some of the causes to that?
Thank you so much, Ivan. On the bit of institutional learning, on the basis of sexual immorality, staff and students and all that, I think that will go back to the values, the grounded values of individuals. When you are grounded with great principles, with good values, I don't think you will go back to belittle yourself to that level. So I bet even if the institution itself comes on and maybe expounds on rules and policies to try and fight such acts, some things are on individual basis. So religion as a topic that we are discussing today will help to ground individuals on the basis of seeing what is right, to differentiate right from wrong. When you're able to know that this is not the right thing and this is the wrong thing you're doing, you're able to know that you cannot continue doing such a thing. So I basically think why people continue to do the acts of immorality because they lack a grounded, they don't have grounded values. Their form of nurturing gave them such kind of values. It goes back to the family nurturing, it goes back to the cultures we come from, it goes back to the systems that we follow and the environment that surrounds us. If a principle or an act is accepted, if maybe an institution, I may not give an example, has seen such things happening and they are doing nothing about it, individuals in that institution will continue doing it with a belief that it's okay. So that kind of immorality will continue occurring. So on the bit of students, different kind of immorality occurs, and it's a call to us, the coming generation, and to our elders to continue echoing the same thing, talking about morals of individuals. Students are going astray in different ways. They're getting into worlds that they were never before. You find a student comes from their family with well-grounded values, but they meet this kind of students and they go astray. So the environments also affect the morals of individuals. So I basically think they don't have grounded values, and they don't have people that keep on echoing the values that they have to uphold. That's why I call upon religion. We go to church every Sunday, every Saturday or Friday we go to the mosque. When the priests or the sheikhs keep on echoing the same values to us, we keep remembering what is right. And I think that is what we need to continue doing.
Amazing. Gideon, from the institution where you're coming from, what are some of the challenges that you face when it comes to morals, and actually what do you think is the cause to that?
Thank you so much. I just commend the great work. The choosing the theme was very timely. I just commend that. Since if you look at the previous hullabaloo that have been happening in our country, a lot of immorality is happening, more so the youth. Because I believe there is a generational gap between the young and the old. And in most cases, this is because of the effect of people losing their religion, the religious values that we know. With due respect, she talked about aspect of a family. Actually, for a state, for a country like Uganda to stand, it means that we have to put into consideration the impact of a family, what the family offers to us. As a small basic unit of a society, it contributes a lot to our well-being as a country, because it nurtures people. So many people come from a family. So if someone comes from a family that doesn't respect God or any natural being in a religious format.
Thank you so much. We go in for a short break. The discussion is just actually getting fired up here. When we come back, we're still expounding on understanding the issue of morality and relating it to religion. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Youth of Purpose here on UBC TV. We are broadcasting here at Nile Avenue, Kampala. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. I still have Vita, I have Gideon, and I have Engineer Ongeo. Is it the right pronunciation of the name? Ongeo. We are still talking about the issue of morality and relating it to religion. How can religion help us to live a morally upright life? Engineer, what do we deem moral and not moral? Because someone will say what you look at to be moral, to me it's immoral. A given society will have things that they see to be moral, and another society looks at them as immoral. How can we be able to tell that actually this is what is immoral?
What God does not want us to do is immoral. What we are doing that would please God, that is moral.
Wow.
Yeah.
That actually says it all, that you cannot separate religion from morality. You cannot.
You cannot, yeah.
Why is it that we are having so much of the immoral issues, majorly amongst the young population?
That's a nice one. You know, I stated earlier that because we don't know who we are, that's why we are ending up doing things that are against the will of God. I picked something this morning from the Bible, and the word was God. And then another one says, the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Now, religion somehow tried to explain that, but it did not go very far. When they say the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, they are referring to Jesus, who is the Son of God. But from the spiritual perspective, the word made flesh is actually me and all of us. This is actually the word which was made flesh. For sure, if somebody pinch you here, you will say a word at least. And
Because of the pain.
Because of the pain. So now, we didn't know why we have this word and why this word was made flesh. I want to make it very clear to you. For most of you who have seen these people who play darts, the darts, they throw this kind of small, how they call it, they throw it there and then it hits the board, it hits the board, it hits the board, and there's no way you can cheat. The one who is recording cannot cheat you because you are seeing exactly what you are putting there. It is the same applied to this word. We came as those small arrows. We are here as small arrows in form of words, and the board is there where we don't see it physically. So every slight word that come out of you, it goes to that board. So if it is a wrong one, it goes to 0. If it's a good one, if it's a fair one, it is all arranged that way. So on the last day, when you leave this world, you are still going back to review on what you have been sending. So because you give the marks yourself, oh, this is what I did. Why did I say this? God, can you? No, it's already gone. So when the bad one overweigh the good one, then you are forced to go to the other direction, because there are two ways. One is life, one is death. So taking the other one, it is actually not death as such, but it is the suffering. This is the route to suffering. That suffering is only actually going to help you to cleanse you, so that at the end of time, maybe you can join the what? The whatever they call life or heaven.
Yes.
If we knew that every word that come out of us is it goes to somewhere where you are supposed to go and find it, I don't think we would have used wrong words here. If I am to tell lies, it is going there somewhere. If I am to abuse somebody, it is going there. Tradition or culture may come out with their own rules that a man can marry a man, but God does not allow that. So if you who have come out with that law, your mark is there, you will go for it. Or you who are also practicing it, your marks will be there for you. There is no shortcut with God. If it is moral, it is something that will help God to be pleased, because it gives back glory to God. If it is immoral, it is not going to give glory to God. It is instead going to destroy the will of God. So, in brief, if we can know that these words, not only the words, even your thoughts that would have come out in form of words, but it got stuck somewhere there. It has already gone to the board. So, but when you do good things, the wrong one can be what? Erased. But if you do again wrong things, even the ones which have been erased, they all come back there on the board. So if every youth or human being understand that this is not the end, there is something we are supposed to, and that is the future, then we shall be very careful with ourselves.
Amazing. Coming to you, Rita, as a lecturer, but also as an advocate for young people, what can you do as leaders to make sure that the young people actually keep the morality, build the moral fabric that we need, but majorly to be able to understand that actually we need to have faith? Like he has said, that it's the faith that is going to help us to actually be able to be moral through the religions that different young people do believe in. What are you doing, for example, in the institutions of learning? I see institutions organizing kadankes and stuff, and that's where you will find thousands of students actually coming too. But organize a crusade where you're going to have preachers, just have a few numbers that are going to be interested in that. How can we be able to pull the young people actually closer to knowing God and also be able to be moral?
Thank you so much. I think what we can do to pull the young to being immoral and closer to God is, one, is acting by example. We as leaders, we need to show them the line, show them the steps that they have to take. Personally, I am a lecturer, I am an advocate, but there's one thing I respect is going to church. I cannot say that, I will not say that maybe I say bad about another religion or something. No, because we all know there is a poem that I love reading that my mentor always told me. It's called Desiderata. There is one phrase there in one of the stanzas that says that in the God that you believe, have faith in that God that you think is your God. So no matter the religion you are, there is that identity that you feel that when you are in that environment, maybe in the Catholic Church, in the service, or in the mosque, you know that when I'm here, I am identified, and these are the values I have to uphold. Though I believe that most of us go there, and actually when we step out, we leave everything there and go and do the opposite. That is what is happening with the young right now. But we can't give up on them. Another factor that we have to do is continue recalling. We have to continue telling them, so that one time they'll be able to differentiate the right from the wrong. We the young cannot be told one thing and we get it right there and then. So as leaders, we need to continue telling them that this is not right. This is not right, not once, but continuously until they correct it. So continuous creating of awareness, and actually creating for the fact that we advise them to go back to a religion that identifies them. Because what I may deem immoral to another religion may not be immoral. For me as a Catholic, for us we are allowed to eat the pig, but to the Muslims, for them it's not right. So basically to them it's immoral or whatsoever. A practice that is not allowed is immoral. So I basically believe that if you're a Muslim, you stand by your identity. I believe that can help.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Gideon, in 1 minute, what can you do to make sure that the students that you are leading keep moral?
Thank you so much. I think I'll just pose a question to our dear viewers. How do they try to think of a world, how this world would be if we didn't have religion there? That we don't fear any person. We know that we are on our own. There's no God there. So many immoral acts, because a person will do something not knowing that will be accountable at one time. Just do anything because I'm living once. There's no heaven. There's no maybe hell at one point. So someone just does anything. So what we can do as leaders, as student leaders, to see that we can try to polish on the status quo of things here. I believe there is what we call mentorship, like I talked about. We need to encourage young people to get mentors, because there are some things that we do at campus.
People to look up to and actually be responsible and account to.
Definitely. And also personal assessment.
Thank you so much, Gideon. As we come to the close, engineer, overall, a young person out there who is actually battling immorality might be in different aspects. What do you have for them, and actually how can they start on the journey of becoming morally upright through understanding themselves, through knowing who they are, and through spirituality?
Thank you so much. That's a wonderful one. Now, this cut across every religion, every tribe. As long as you're a human being, it gives you the best of all in your life. Now, as I said earlier on, I think we discussed this thing sometimes back. I said God, we are looking for God, but God is just within our heart. God lives in our heart. And myself as a human being, as a man, I live in the head. So my thoughts is actually myself. This body is just housing for my thoughts and myself. Now, for these young people and other human beings, not only the young people, if you want to live the best of the best, you have to always consult God. God says, I have given you two things, life and death, but choose life. If you get stuck somewhere, come back to me.
Thank you so much, engineer. Thank you, Gideon. Thank you, Rita, for being a part of this episode. I'm really grateful, and I'm certain the audience has been able to benefit, and they are able to actually understand how they can be able to become moral through religion. I thank you so much for watching this show. My name is Ivan Tumkunde. See you next time.
Youth of Purpose.